Hello everyone and welcome. Tonight we're gonna have another comfy cozy live stream just working on our wizard kitty animation. Let's jump right over and see what we got so far. Yeah, so we actually have quite a lot already and I'm always very happy to return to this animation. Let's change the gap check, switch that off so we can really see our animation and what we have so far. And yeah, it flickers a little bit because we don't have everything colored. But oh my god, I love the special effects and the milk liquid animation and the box, how we squeeze the box. I think it's becoming quite a nice animation, and I'm very happy to continue working on it tonight, so that we get this finally done. Hi NS Hindu, nice to see you. All right. I wonder why we don't see any chat messages in the stream. What is going on there? Let's reload that part. Maybe it will work then. Okay, so yeah, we gotta continue coloring our wonderful sweet cat here. And there's also a little bit of animation that we're still having to do. Maybe we should do that first. Is actually after the cat did all the magic special effects. I think she needs to lick up the milk with a little tongue going very quickly, like lick, 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 like this little rhythm. I think would be quite nice here at the end. And we still need a back layer for that arm, so maybe we should do that first so we can have the animation completely done. Hello, Pilferpup Draws. Yeah, yeah, I'm looking forward to see it finally in color. This has been going on for far too many live streams. I liked the other live stream that we recently had about the head turn, and then we immediately had it done in the 3-hour live stream. We had all the animation done. So I want to make more of those. It's insane how much time animation always takes, and yeah. But you know, that's what we have to do, working on it slow and steady. Okay, so I'm gonna make a bunch of extra layers for these because the layers with the special effects, when we do the the effects like glow and stuff, we need to put the effect on the layer. So we shouldn't double use those layers. We should make new layers around the main layer of the cat. And yeah, we're gonna have one above and below the food bowl. So let's do that little tongue first. We're gonna create that layer above the rest of the drawing. Toon's vector level. And as Hindu asking, where are you from? I'm from Germany. How to make the character real? Like, do you mean how to make the motion feel real? Pilferpup has the same problem with the months of live streams on the same project. Yeah. That happens. Seems to happen very quickly, doesn't it? Hey Vivek, nice to see you. Let's zoom out a little bit so you actually can see what I'm doing here with the layer here. And I think we can just do a nice little straight ahead animation here after the position is reached. We can do this straight ahead, I think. So gonna do a little bit of an ease. And Hindu is a new subscriber from India. Welcome, welcome. We have quite a few people from India. I think you'll feel right at home. Alright, so we want to have onion skin on 2s. And let's try to just have it shoot out there. I should have looked at like cat slow motion videos, how they lick something up. I know that for dogs it's very like they actually make a little spoon where they hold it. But you know, we're just gonna wing it. How bad can it be? We just guess how this looks. Okay, and then we have it disappear here. Maybe I'm already thinking too complex and it doesn't need to be quite as complex. Let's copy that motion. Paste it. And test it. I think that is too slow. Oh, didn't mean to jump quite that far back. That is too realistic. We don't want it to be... We really want it to be like... like have this super quick rhythm, right? So we could put it on once. See how it looks if we reframe it to be on once. And it's half as long. I don't like this shape. It's getting too complex here. We just have it break the surface, I think. Or is it? I think it's this one. Might be this one that is bothering me. Okay, now we need to put the onion skin on once. Okay, let's see how this is. Thank you for the kind words, NS Hindu. Blop, blop. I think this is what we want, and we need at least three times of that. Okay. One more time. And then I think that's it. And at frame 299 is the last frame of our animation. And this is where it repeats over, so... yeah, maybe one more time. I do like the change in frame rate, that we're all of a sudden, for this, we go to ones, everything else is animated on twos. Well, here we go to once. And I think it's a nice change of pace for the entire animation. To have this very regular rhythm all of a sudden. I think that works as kind of like the punchline. Maybe it could be like a short little delay before the cat starts slurping up the milk. Just a little tiny bit of a delay. Bye, Anasindu. Yeah, I know, it's late in India. Hi, Ice Cream Hero. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Let's see the whole thing over again and see how it feels in context. I really do like the change of pace for when the tongue comes in and goes click, 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 click. Yeah, I think that's good for now. It's easy to repeat these drawings, so we don't have to make it final right now. Yeah, but I think that's I keep wanting to mess with it. Let's repeat the tongue one more time. One more time. But then that's it. Yeah, good night, Anasindu. At some point, I do want to make earlier live streams. Like, if I stream twice a week, one day, hopefully, I think there's going to be one early live stream and one late live stream. So that both the people from the US and the people from India have a live stream to join. Because otherwise, it's so... time zones. Hello, Atkinsy. Oh, it's 1 PM for Pilferpup. Yeah, that's on the one hand side the great thing about the internet, right? Where you can just interact with the entire world, but then there's still time zones and stuff, which for live streams can really be a logistical thing. I also noticed it with like the mentoring sessions that we have with the group, difficult to agree on a time. You know, if people from India, people from Europe, and people from the US have to join the same meeting, there's kind of only like one time slot where for the one person it's still not too early and for the other person it's not too late. It can be quite complex. Okay, so the other layer that we absolutely need, at least a couple frames of, is the hand, the back hand going behind the food bowl. So I'm gonna add that in a layer behind the food bowl. What are all these layers? What are they for? Oh, this is the milk. Maybe I should name them. That's a crazy idea, naming layers. I don't know why, but in OpenToonz I never name my layers. I should really do that. Football front. Milk in bowl. And it's gonna be a lot easier when we do the compositing for this shot. If we have clear names. Milk box. Or just box. We don't need to have every layer named milk. What is this? Special effects. Why are they... Oh, they have to be below the milk box. Okay, special effects below box. I wrote football. I'm I'm too tired for this, apparently. Football backside. I'm too tired to name things. Pilfer Pup. Oh, we are ranking animation software. Pilfer Pup asks, OpenTunes greater than Toon Boom greater than Adobe Animate. So Adobe Animate recently really has fallen in my grace. I've had for a university I was teaching Adobe Animate, which used to be Flash, and I did a lot of stuff in Flash. Like the first couple of short films I all animated in Flash. And, you know, later Adobe Flash turned into... Well, I used it back when it was Macromedia Flash and was bought by Adobe. And then it turned from Adobe Flash into Adobe Animate. And I don't know, like, I don't get warm with it again. Because it feels like it still has all this old baggage from its being an interactive website maker, I guess. And now they really focused on rigging and new YouTube subscriber, welcome. Now they're focusing on rigging. I haven't tried any of the rigging tools yet, but I heard they're like okay, but not, you know, not on par with Moho or Toon Boom Harmony. And they still neglecting frame by frame. There's still some really simple features that I miss for frame by frame in Adobe Animate. And then I was teaching this class, and at least once or twice Adobe Flash would just crash. I mean, okay, we had some crashes with OpenTunes on this live stream too, but you know, OpenTunes is free and open source, and Adobe Animate costs money. So I don't know. And Harmony, I don't know. I sometimes rant about Toon Boom Harmony too, especially because, you know, it costs, if you get a perpetual license, Toon Boom Harmony and the compositing software. Oh, new Twitch follower, welcome. Like, sometimes Toon Boom Harmony can be quite annoying too, and it costs so much money, and it still crashes a lot and stuff like that. And then you have something like OpenTunes, which has a lot of the functions that Toon Boom Harmony has. OpenTunes has think about it. OpenTunes is free, and it has so many features that a software has that costs thousands of dollars. So OpenTunes, if you are on a budget, if you're just starting out with animation, I would not recommend buying Toon Boom Harmony. I mean, they have a subscription license and they have educational pricing if you're still studying. That makes it easy to just check in and try it out. But it's so crazy what you can do with OpenTunes. So I definitely recommend starting with OpenTunes, giving it a try. People saying about Adobe Animate, I assume it still crashes 5 times a day. Louis the cartoonist, I hear Flash was notorious for crashing. Ice Cream Hero says, my nickname for Flash is Adobe Crash. Illustrator also crashed sometimes. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, sometimes I've heard, like, under the OpenTunes video, the basics of OpenTunes video, a lot of people complain about OpenTunes crashing. And I think, you know, depending on the GPU, it can be a bit difficult to set up. Yeah, Ray has a problem with OpenTunes on Mac. No, sorry, I've never used it on a Mac. Hey Gopu. Hey Oreo. No, come in. We just started. But, you know, ultimately, I feel like, and that is kind of like my beginner advice when it comes to software. Like, people very often, like, one of the first questions is always, like, what is the best software? And, you know, I could rank software for you, like, what I would like to use most right now, and it wouldn't be Flash. But ultimately, what it comes down to, especially if you are a beginner, the software you should use is the one you're using. Like, if there's also, you know, a downside to like opening Blender for the first time or opening OpenToonz for the first time, they can be very overwhelming. Whereas in, I mean, Flash, Adobe Animate is also not that beginner friendly, but you know, there's a couple of software where it can be really intimidating to just get started, and because of this intimidation, you might not start, but you heard that this is the best software, so you should start with that software. Which, you know, if one software feels easier to you and it's easier to get into it, like, you know, for the first time. For example, if you've done a lot of digital paintings before in Krita or Photoshop, just start with Photoshop or Krita for your first animation experiments. You know, you don't need to learn a new software on top of learning a new you don't need to learn a new software on top of learning animation basics, like at the same time. If you can separate that, if you're already super happy with the Photoshop brushes, go start animating in Photoshop. And once you know the basics of animation, I think it's so easy to switch animation software, especially 2D traditional animation software, because once you know, okay, how to set keyframes, how to make new drawings, how to do keyframe interpolation, if you've switched to a new software, you just need to learn where the buttons are, because most software have these concepts, and then you can see for yourself which one you like the most. Yeah, I've heard about Tahoma 2D. I have, I agree, it does definitely make it more beginner friendly. They do succeed in that. I can definitely recommend Tahoma 2D for beginners. It's a fork of OpenToonz. Sometimes it lags a little bit behind in the features that OpenToonz has. Sometimes it has features before OpenToonz has them. Let's see. Oh, TV Paint. We didn't talk much about TV Paint, but yeah, TV Paint is one of the... I always forget about TV Paint because it's not one of my favorites, but I can certainly see why it is some people's favorites, like the pencil brushes and the charcoal brushes and the watercolor. It's so nice, and it has some really nice quality of life features and how to shift things around and how to work with the light box and stuff like that. It's not for me because I'm a vector boy. I like myself some vector animation and manipulating vector points and stuff like that. That's why I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna get more into TV Paint than, you know, only when I have to, when I do something for a client and they animate in TV Paint, then I happily work in TV Paint. But yeah, so anyone into bitmap animation, I can really recommend TV Paint. Roger Cronover. Oh, hi, Roger. Says, I use Rough Animator and I use webcams where called AvaCam. That's interesting. Okay. Like, it's a webcam animation software where it tracks your face. I wanted to get more into more stuff like that. Yeah, TV Paint seems very popular with traditional animators in particular. I mean, the pencil feels so nice, and it gets you pencil drawings that look like you have scanned them. I can really totally see that. What are my plans for today? Yeah, we gotta get back to animation. We're still working on the Wizard Kitty here. And actually, we wanted to put in the arm right now for below the football. When his arm goes behind the football, we need another layer for that. Here, when the arm goes behind the football, we don't have a layer right now there. So let's add that. A new vector level. Let's name it directly. Yeah, I'm good now. I'm naming my layers now. What do we have? Arm behind bowl. Let's just say bowl. Here we go. Rodrigo asks if somebody's using ToonSquid. I've never heard about it. I've seen it pop up in comments. People asking about ToonSquid. I'm gonna write it down real quick so I can have a look at it. It's for Apple App Store. Okay, it's for iOS. Is it only for iOS? Or is it also for Android? Yeah, I mean, then the reason why I've... Oh yeah, Powerful Animation Studio for your iPad. Okay, that explains why I haven't heard about it, because I don't have an iPad. Did I make a new layer? Arm behind bowl. Okay. Already exists. Where did it put it? Huh? Did I lose my layer? Where'd it go? The layer isn't here. Okay, let's just open Toons, create a layer, and switch it behind it. That was weird. Arm behind bowl. There we go. Oh, ToonSquid is new. Okay, I see. That also explains it. Yeah, they kind of have to build their reputation first. Cat looks thirsty. Yeah, cat is getting the milk now. Okay, we want to sample all layers for the onion skin. Extend onion skin to scene. So we can put the arm down. And I think we can just put it all the way down, all the way behind. Hello Adachi, nice to see you. Okay. At the moment I'm still drawing on my old Intuos Pro. That's I think what it is called. But I have a Huion Inspiroi Dial 2 sitting right over there. We were recording some footage, some unboxing footage for it because I want to make a review of it. I haven't plugged it into the computer yet. But yeah, I'm gonna try a Huion tablet soon. And I'm gonna let you all know how it goes. Because my Wacom pen is falling apart. And yeah. Okay. There we go. Welcome, Hunter fan. Saw the stream and had to join. Glad to have you here. Adachi recommends Krita. Yeah, wasn't there still a thing with Krita though that if you copy and pasted a frame, it always had to paste it on a new layer. Like, that annoyed me so much when I did my first tests with Creature. Other than that, brushes and pencils in Creature are so good too. Adachi says, tempted to use the Blender grease pencil next. Yeah, do that. I hear a lot of good things about it. And I definitely want to get into it too. Okay, so we have the arm, and then we have the tongue. Oh, I love it. We have some nice things in this animation, I think. I think it does show that we're going so slow with it. It does show in quality. Okay, so we got the arm behind. I guess we need to continue with coloring. Thank you, Adachi. I'm a bit worried again that I don't see anyone on Twitch because somebody followed on Twitch, but either they're not writing anything in the chat or chat messages don't end up here. Which, I'm sorry if that is the case. Luby the cartoonist says, I wish there was something like Tahoma 2D made for Blender. Always wanted to learn 3D modeling, but I watched one YouTube tutorial and quit immediately. Yeah, that's what I said earlier. Blender is so intimidating, but it can definitely be worth getting into it. And in Blender, I think the weird thing is the interface is so full, but in everyday life, you probably only use 20% of all these buttons and functions and menus. Like 80% of the time, you're only using 20% of the software, and it just looks too intimidating for that. I think they are planning on having simplified apps now or something. I only heard about this in passing, but I think they are trying out simplified interfaces now for certain types of processes. And there are forks for Blender. I think there's an anime fork for Blender, if I'm not mistaken, really focusing on the grease pencil stuff and shifting everything else a little more away. But I need to look into that more too. Hello, Maria. Nice to have you here. Okay, so what are we doing now? We are coloring our... Yeah, I could color and talk. I should color and talk. Oh yeah, and I remember we had some trouble filling this because I was not very good with the gaps. Maximum gap. We can get some automatic gap filling out of this. Okay, this is working quite nice. JD says, French feature film Unicorn Wars by Studio Unico was presented last month, which has been completely made in Blender's grease pencil. It has the potential, but needs work in the UI and UX. Yeah, that's I think something that happens very often with open source software. Like, they have amazing people working on it and being very passionate about a feature, and then they add it super quickly. I'm always amazed at the speed at which Blender adds features. Despite some features taking a long time, but sometimes you realize like, okay, this is the first try. This is just adding everything into the interface, and it takes a couple. It takes a little bit till every UI element is at the right place. Okay, let's use the tape tool and view the gap check. Okay, gap's closed here. And I think that's all I wanted to do here. We probably should maybe we should do the gaps. Maybe we should do the gaps first. I think we already did a gap pass last time. More or less. What's the shortcut? Tape tool is T and fill tool is F. That's good. Hunter fan also confirms the Blender experience. I have a friend that uses Blender and they're a god at it. Then when I tried to use Blender, I got so confused on what to do. Yeah, but Blender Guru has some awesome tutorials. I always recommend starting with the Blender Guru tutorials. And it's also one of the reasons why I don't do Blender tutorials right now yet. Because I'm always like, I can't make better tutorials than that. Like, Blender Guru made some tutorials now for like the 3rd or 4th time. And they're so good. They're so to the point, so focused, so like you really can feel the experience. And that he has been teaching these concepts for years. French are doing great in animations such as Arcane and I think Cuphead. I don't know about the Cuphead show, yeah, but Arcane was amazing. Isai asks, what are the important topics one should focus on if they are into 2D animation? There are 3 areas that you can focus on. There is the physics side of things with body mechanics and stuff like that, which are super important. Tape tool. For example, how does a jump work? How does a fight choreography work and stuff like this? How do weight shifts work? That's one huge area, like the physics side of things. And you can do animation tests and exercises to get better at the physics side of things. There's the aesthetic side of things, that in 2D animation, your drawing skills are counting towards that too. But also your knowledge of composition, how to make pleasing composition. That's a thing that you could look into. Here, where's the tape tool? Let's close that off. And how to clear posing. That's one of my favorite topic. How do you make poses that look appealing but are also like super clear and easy to read? And then there's the acting side of things, to learn about psychology, learn about human reflexes, learn about how humans realistically behave the tics that we have. That is also one of the most important ingredients, I think, for films. The first thing you learn to model in Blender is a donut and not a smoothie. Yeah, the popular famous donut is 3D. And then another topic, the fourth topic, is technology, is the software. What buttons do you have to click to create a new drawing? How filling could be done more smart than what I'm doing right now. It's so insane. Like, I have never really brought a project to the coloring phase in OpenToons. So what I'm doing right now is probably the most inefficient way of getting this project done, because I just don't have the experience in OpenToons. In Harmony, I was very quick at some point. I was really good at coloring in Harmony because they have some really great features to color across multiple frames and stuff like that. And I really got into doing that. You know, and plus talking live at the same time is always a challenge for me. I don't know how other streamers do it that make way more complex stuff than me. Sometimes they can still talk to their chat. Take tool, the right color, close it, fill it. Old Puppet asked about walk cycles? What exactly do you mean? But yeah, walk cycles, great exercise in the body mechanic department. That is certainly something to have a crack at some point when you're learning 2D animation. There is a multi-frame tool for coloring in OpenToons, says Maria. Yeah, okay, great. I think right now it wouldn't work because we have so many gaps everywhere. Gaps everywhere. Let's just go through the let's just go through the drawings and close at least the obvious gaps. So maybe we can fill a little bit quicker then, and we don't have to switch tools all the time. But you know, I have been in productions where like line closing was a whole, you know, job that somebody had to do. I think we have closed them sufficiently. Is there another tool like paint check? No, not paint check. Fill check. Fill check. Yeah. Fill check checks if it can be filled, but that could also mean that it might fill wrong. Let's see what's going on here. Close that. Close that. And then it can be filled. Wonderful. There. Close it off there. Close it off here. Here maybe? Yes. Oh, up there at the tip. It's so frustrating when it's like open areas that you really can't see with the bare eye. You have to zoom in a ridiculous amount to really see where the not closed gap is. But yeah, I've learned my lesson. I've switched my brush again to auto close when it's close to another line. We're gonna do that right the next time. Okay, that's nice. Let's see if I overlooked something. I'm so looking forward to Arcane Season 2. No idea when it's going to come out. I hope they take the time that they need to do Arcane 2, because Arcane 1 was years in development. And I think you can really feel that it was somebody's passion project over many years. And everybody took it so seriously. The writers, the designers, the animators, like everybody gave their best. And while maybe not the largest budget, they had, I think they had the time to animate stuff the way that they wanted to. All right, back to the tape tool. Loby the cartoonist says, I always underestimate how long it takes to make even a simple character animation. I don't know why it surprises me every time I start one. Yeah, I feel with you. I have, especially with this animation. This animation was supposed to be done in like 2 live streams or something. I was like, oh, let's make a little cute animation and finish it in 2 live streams. No. I mean, I think we went a little bit overboard with like the FX animation, stuff like that. We should not forget about the eyes. I want to have the eyes really nice. Closed off so I can color them. Maria's getting into the next, into her next project. Starting to work on a little scene thing off the 11-second club for a bit. Yes, going from one position to next takes time, patience, and observation. Trying to pay attention to arcs this time around. Yeah, really, like, having nice arcs can make your animation, can really level it up. And what it comes down to is breakdowns. If you have great poses, that's nice for like the milestones in your animation. But the feeling of the animation really comes a lot from the breakdowns, which do contain the arcs. Tip for lip syncing. Hunter fan is asking, do you have a tips for lip syncing? Trying to get into it, but I feel like I keep messing it up every time. 2D or 3D? What I can really recommend for reference is to look at the Muppets or Sesame Street to realize how simple lip sync can be. You know, if they can make it work in the Muppets, whatever they do there, if you hit that in your animation, it can be the foundation of your lip sync. And the thing that they get so right in the Muppets is when the mouth has to be closed. A good Muppet performer, they're really good at this. Closing the mouth when it needs to be closed. And, you know, it needs to be closed and it needs to pop closed on M, B, and P. And F and V and W need to be really close to the like, those are the most important things. If you get them right, that can be like one of the biggest cornerstones of lip sync animation. And sometimes we worry too much about how wide is the mouth at this point and stuff. When we just have to remember that opening and closing it at the right time, that's very where the most can be gained. Oh, there, okay. No, I'm not happy with that gap there. What is this? We need to clean this up. Sure, Isai, you can ask any question you want. And one thing about lip sync that really changed lip sync for me is to realize, oh, is my camera lagging? Is my camera lagging? Hello, hello, hello? That is weird. Yeah, I do like open tunes, but those, well, 100% CPU spikes are not good for live streaming. Let me come up with a good example. If you have a word where there are a lot of O's and U sounds, like a golden doubloon, the entire lip sync will be in this narrow area. And if you have a lot of very wide vowels, like, I don't know, I'm very bad at examples right now. Or somebody's like very open and very friendly, like smiling the whole time. It can lip sync, doesn't have to mouth every vowel. Like for every O, you don't need to go into the O shape. Like some O's, like if I'm smiling very widely, I can say hello without the lips even going to the O shape. And then all that you need to really sell the lip sync is the closing, having the lips closer when the L are there, when the L is there, and then opening it again. And I think the key to lip sync is really mastering this. When you have to open your mouth and when you have to close it and when you have to almost close it. So I don't know if that's a satisfying answer. And then certainly don't bounce between E and O and E and O and E, O again. Like that can be very distracting and feel wrong, even if you're hitting the vowels right. Okay, stream looks fine on Lobby's end. That's good. Yeah, timing's generally more important than the mouth shapes themselves. Yeah, exactly. Maria says there was an interesting documentary on the making of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly with the section pertinent to the lip sync. A scene had the Italian actor say Pio Forte. They were looking for an English equivalent to the lip motion and came up with more feeling because the lip shapes matched extraordinarily well. Yeah, I'm always baffled if you have a film where you really realize that they were really thinking about the lip shapes when doing the dub. I find that so impressive that you're not only translating the movie, but you're also trying to match the lip shapes as closely as possible. It's so crazy. It's amazing if both comes together. If you have an amazing dub translation and one that matches the mouth shapes very closely, it's really cool when that comes together. All right, let's close some more gaps here. Closing some gaps, singing so I can distract that I cannot say anything meaningful while I'm closing gaps. I don't know why this is so demanding for me today. I'm actually on vacation now from my day job, I guess is what you would call it. There we go. So I don't know. I had a couple more quiet days, but somehow I guess just sleeping long enough for 3 days doesn't really counteract months of not sleeping right, so I guess I can't be surprised there. Okay, so we gotta have to erase that. Do we still have the segment eraser? Ah, that works like a charm. Thank you, segment eraser. Luby says streaming's hard work. I tried it a long while ago and felt very awkward. It does have its awkward moments. I'm so happy that so many people are right now in the stream. I always enjoy that, talking to everybody in the chat, and it makes it so much less awkward to actually stream to people and have people's question to answer and their reactions. New YouTube subscriber. Thank you, Jills. But also, you know, I think it's a skill that can be learned like any other skill can and has to be learned and practiced. And I think my first live streams probably were a lot more awkward than they are now. And sometimes I think live streaming is an interesting skill because you're so in the spotlight, and when things go wrong, you really learn how to improvise and, you know, how to talk while you're trying to fix something, how to talk while you're otherwise occupied. It's an excellent skill for training this sort of stuff. Okay, is this closed? Should be closed. But yeah, I mean, I still have to level up my streaming game as well at some point. And, you know, maybe coming up with a content plan. That's one of my big end of the year goals for Animator Island. I want to have a content plan going into next year. And this includes topics for streaming and actually announcing streams, maybe. So people who want to join don't, you know, aren't surprised when it happens. I'm sometimes surprised when it happens. I'm like, oh, should I start a stream? I guess I'll start a stream. But, you know, I get that it's better if it's more regular and you actually know when I'm going to be online, and you can, if you have some questions that are coming up with regards to animation that you want to ask me, you actually know when you can ask me. But yeah, I can definitely recommend anyone who's like a little bit interested in you know, growing something like a community around their art and their films, and actually enjoy, you know, doing making offs and answering questions. I can really enjoy giving live streaming a try and sitting through the awkwardness of the beginning. It's a hard question, Isai. If you are demotivated to animate, but you have some great ideas to be explored, how do you push yourself to move forward? How do you build your confidence? I mean, that's a problem that a lot of people have, and that's a problem that even, you know, big successful people have. Everybody is struck at some point or another by writer's block and demotivation. So what I think helps a lot is building habits. If you have the habit to work on this project, this personal project that you want to finish every Friday from 2 o'clock till 8 o'clock, and you do that all the time, it one day will feel weird if you don't work on it. Like if you did it consistently enough to have it become your a habit, I think that can help breaking through demotivated phases, because it's a little bit easier to start if something is a habit. It's a bit tough to get there, obviously, but yeah, having kinds of work or certain projects become habits, I think can really help. For example, to be quite honest with you, starting to stream is so difficult for me, because I am an introverted person, and doing the stream costs me energy. I do enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot, and I especially, now that we're doing it, now that we're talking and I'm in the groove of working, I really enjoy it. But starting to stream is so difficult for me. So I made the deadline in my head. I have to stream Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. And as you can see, the last couple days, it always get to Sunday, because on the other days, I couldn't push myself to do it. But, today I was like, okay, this is the deadline. I should have done it on Friday. I should have done it on Saturday. Didn't do it. Now I have to do it. I have to do it today. And it works. I'm here. I'm streaming. So yeah, habits. Even, obviously I don't have a live streaming habit. Otherwise you guys would know when to find me. But I at least have a live streaming deadline, and at least that's something that helps. Let's see what other strategies for going through demotivation. Working with other people on projects can help a lot. It could also be a sort of accountability partnership. Like, you don't work on the same projects, but you talk about each other's projects. And the habit in this would be to ask the other person every Friday, hey, what have you done this week? Do you want to show me your progress? Do you want to have feedback on anything? Do you want my input on anything? And you give each other's input, not working on the same projects, but working on different projects maybe. If you work on the same project, accountability can also be easier, especially habit building, I think works easier with two people. If you have another person, like, calling you, being like, hey, where are you? We wanted to live stream today. We wanted to work on this together today. Even just side by side. They work on their computer, you work on their computer, but you're working at the same time, and you started it at the same time, and you can show each other stuff. I think that can help. I also like to have more than one project. That's a dangerous tip, because, you could you could have too many things to do at once if you start having multiple projects at the same time. But I found that one day I feel more like that project, and one day I feel more like this project. And at least if it's my passion projects, one of my passion projects will feel right to work on today. So even if you don't continue working on that one project, at least you made progress on another. And then, also circling back to habits, if you're just building the habit, building a habit doesn't mean that you need to do a lot every single day. For example, if you want to build the habit of drawing every day, on some days, you're gonna draw a full comic strip or a full detailed drawing of whatever you're drawing. On some days where you don't want to draw, where you're demotivated, go to the place where you draw, go to your office, pull out the notebook, draw a smiley face or something really small. And if you don't feel like continuing, don't continue. But at least You went into the office, you opened your sketchbook, you got your pencils, you put pencil to paper, you made a really tiny scribble, and then you're free to go again. Then you're free to leave. So you kind of did your habit. You did like the bare minimum of your habit, but this is something that helps the brain to get into the habit to be like, okay, I have to force myself to at least do some tiny small thing, even if it's just the smallest thing. That can help a lot. Oh yeah, that's a good point too. Maria says sometimes stepping away and taking a little breather can help motivate you. I like to take a walk through the park and just not really think. That's a good tip. Yeah, walking, definitely. If you feel like, oh, I really can't sit down, there's this blockage in my head, walk for 10 minutes, come back. Very often that can clear it up. It's surprising how sometimes ideas pop into your head when you just let things go. I have to write a 1 to 2 page play for our theater mailing list every other week, but 4 days before I just start scribbling and things come up. Yeah, I mean, you know, if you have a deadline like this, every other week, that's a habit. That's quite strict. Cool. Adachi says, problem in my area at least is that I don't know any animators apart from online pals. Online pals is a good start too. Discord groups, Facebook groups can work perfectly for accountability groups and sharing feedback and stuff like that. But if you want to have more people in your area, put up a flyer, put up a piece of paper somewhere, you know, at a bakery, at a supermarket, be like, hey, I'm looking for a group to draw together. And drawing together in a pub, for example, I did that during my studying days. That was quite fun. We met in a pub, would drink some beers and just scribble and draw. That was really great to get the mileage into the drawing skills. That's an interesting point. When it comes to having multiple projects at once, I like having a big one and a small one. Like while I'm working on an animation, I might do an illustration on the side. That sounds like a good manageable level. That's a good point, yeah. I like that system. All right, we have all the gaps closed, if I see that right. Yes. So let's jump into that one. Seems to be all closed too, because we now have the close gap feature activated. Actually filling stuff. That's a thing we should do. Fill check. Okay. Actually filling things. I hope that this is now kinda easy. Oh! Yeah. It is much better. Oh. I'm realizing so much how rarely I color my passion projects. It's an interesting feeling. I mean, I do like some good scribbles. I do like the face of rough animation. But seeing something filled now is quite nice too. Right. I gotta get new water. My throat feels a bit scratchy. So I'm gonna leave you alone for a couple minutes and be right back. Oh, I can't put the graphic on screen. I'll be right back. Alright, and I'm back. It smells so delicious in the hallway. My wife is cooking something. I probably have to leave soon. Smells good. I from the smell I would bet it's spaghetti with meatballs. Yeah. Maria says, I like texture with color, so the fill feature doesn't always excite me. Yeah, I get what you mean. It's nice to have some interesting stuff actually going on with the fill. Gradient or texture in it. I hope she makes lots of spaghetti. My wife always makes far too much noodles. We always have so much more noodles than we have spaghetti sauce. And then, but you know, if you have more spaghetti noodles than you need, you can always have like just noodles with butter, with some really good butter. That can also be so nice. But it's always like, I hope I have enough noodles. And then we have way too many. Isai says, it's interesting to hear multiple thoughts at the same time. Good to hear your strategies, Lobby the cartoonist. Maria, thanks a lot, Ferdinand, for a detailed answer. Yeah, I think like this I think is peak live streaming, when we have just a couple people sharing their experiences, their thoughts, their strategies. And I really love that. Oh. There is no fill here. Let's see. Can I now fill this with its own color? Ah, yeah, I can. Okay. And then we have the cat bending over. I like it when we just fly through it. Oh, we didn't again. Oh my. Let's pull the lines. Try how that works. Okay. Here, going through. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about doing a short film soon. I mean, I started doing the short film. It's the Big Scary Bear short that we started storyboarding for a while ago. I think I want to revive that project because I really like the character. I really like the story, and I've pretty much written the short film. And I wonder if I do it in OpenTunes or if I do it in Toon Boom Harmony. I think if I do it in OpenTunes and live stream the process, and it will probably spark a couple tutorials. I think it will be more helpful for more people because OpenTunes is free and much easier to access. Like just in terms of it doesn't cost money. But then I'm also thinking like, I used to be so good in Toon Boom Harmony. That was my home turf at some point. So I don't know if I'm gonna do the Big Scary Bear short in OpenTunes or in... we didn't close this one. In OpenTunes or in Harmony. Luby the cartoonist remembers. Yeah, it was a long time ago. Now it filled. Okay. I do really like that character in general. Like a big character that wants to be scary but is really sweet. I love all types of characters like that. I like this character archetype whenever I see it. And I really want to do one like that. Oh, what were we doing here? Why is this? I mean, it looks like we did plenty there. What is going on there? Why is this not? Why is this not filling? Maybe it's down here? No. Tape tool. Yeah. Okay. Taped it a bunch. Yeah. That was the Big Scary Bear short where he's brushing his teeth and what was it? His toothbrush falls into the toilet at some point, and he has to get a new toothbrush. And yeah, there was a lot of toothbrushing related mayhem in that one. Yeah, I really gotta get into it again. What is going on here? I can tell you, this work step right now, I'm so not motivated. So not motivated to do this. I'm so glad we're doing this in a live stream and I have something else to do, because if I was doing this on my own, I would probably at some point like, let's put on a podcast or something on YouTube. And then it might turn into just YouTubing. Just, watching YouTube. You know how it sometimes happens that you do that. Gentle Giants are the best character for real. Yeah. Like, especially when they're trying to act tough. Like, that is the part that I really like. The psychology of trying to be big and strong, but in reality really being a softie. Oh, that was quite a subtle ease that we have going on here. I like when an animation I did surprises me, where I'm like, oh, that's some nice easing. I did good there. Good that I took the time to do that. Adachi says, never watch YouTube. What's that? Yeah, it's one of these new platforms. I still have to get used to YouTube Shorts. You know, like YouTube trying to be TikTok. But I actually, like, to test it, I made 2 shorts really quickly from existing videos, and they immediately got views and comments and stuff like that. And, you know, I didn't really put any effort into it. I think if you put effort into YouTube Shorts right now, you can really get some views on that. But yeah, for Animator Island, I kind of like, we have some on Instagram Reels. I have a couple nice one where it's just like a 30-second tutorial showing how to do eases or how to do a cool pose or something like that. I want to do more really short tutorials, really short, quick tips like that. That might be good for YouTube Shorts, might be good for TikTok. Big creatures who are really softies make me think of an old Warner Brothers cartoon with a big dog who falls in love with a tiny kitten. Feed the Kitty is the name of it. Huh. I think I vaguely remember something. I'll have to look that up after this stream. Okay, so we still have a couple drawings that are not fully colored. There it starts. Oh, what is going on? I'm just using the arrow keys. Jack Jones has some things to say about how round, soft lines are a guarantee for cuteness. Yeah. Chuck Jones. I always love his minimalistic movements, like especially in late Chuck Jones cartoons. I love with how little, like just a glance to the camera, just animating the eyes and nothing else. He could get a laugh out of people. Really impressive. Really like that. And I think my cartoons have been gotten more minimalistic since I analyzed Chuck Jones stuff and looked up what people found remarkable about Chuck Jones. It's really so much to find there. What is not closed here? What is going on? Adachi, you have probably seen Chuck Jones cartoons. Like, he invented Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote. And some of the best Warner Brothers cartoons are from I just deleted this point and then it closed the game. What? Just deleted this point? Okay, okay. I'm just happy that it is filled now. Chuck Jones, totally a master at drawing cute characters. And the Chuck Jones cartoon that I come back again and again to is One Froggy Evening with the singing frog that only sings when nobody else is looking, just that one person, that one poor guy who thinks that he can make a lot of money by getting people to see the singing frog. But every time he wants other people to hear the frog doesn't sing and only like taunts him and sings when he's alone. I really like, such a simple concept, and there's no dialogue except for the song. And it's so crazy how such a logical concept can be so funny, like just with that rule. You know, the rule is there's no dialogue except for the singing, and the frog only sings when nobody else but this one guy is listening to him. Oh, and Duck Amuck, yeah, Ice Cream Hero. That's true. Duck Amuck is a great one too. Playing with, you know, dissolving the space and just torturing Daffy Duck, and making like a little behind the scenes trip of putting Daffy into different costumes, erasing stuff on screen, putting new stuff on screen. Yeah, Duck Amuck is a great one. Yeah, that's a good point. Sometimes the best work comes from limitation, like a lack of dialogue. You get everything? We didn't get the... Okay, so how do we want to use that palette on multiple layers? So let's first of all color the nose, because I'm seeing that right now. Save the palette. We want to save the palette as a global palette. Palettes. Wizard Kitty. Okay, I'm saving the color palette. And now I go to the other layer. And I want to load the color palette into it. How did that work again? Studio palette? Project palette? Wizard Kitty. Load into current palette. Yeah. And now I have the colors available there, and I can color it. And they are kind of linked. Okay. So we need a white. And let's switch back to this layer. We need white for the eye. Let's make a new one. White for the eye. Oh, I did it on the wrong layer. Okay, but now we can test this workflow. So we added the white here. Save it. It saves it on the level. So Katie, overwrite. This one has the white, or it's a gray actually. Huh. Okay, let's leave it like that right now. It's not completely white. Oh. Okay, now it's completely white. Adachi has to go. Have a good night. Bye. Okay. Saving this one. Overwrite. Loading it into current. Oh, and adjust current level to this palette. Oh, you can blend them. Like you can have a night palette and then blend it. Okay. Load into current palette. And the same thing over here. Load into current palette. Is that the right way of doing that? I don't know. But I mean, it works for now. Now we have the white to fill. Okay. Oh, we need the tongue. We need the tongue. Same game here. But this tongue can be a little bit more red. We can tweak the color later. Okay, so saving it. Color. Studio palette. Replace with current palette. Is that what we want? We want to replace the palette Wizard Kitty with palette C. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. That's what we want, right? Now we go to that layer where the tongue is on. And we're gonna say load into current palette. Convert to studio palette and override. I gotta look up what studio palettes are. Because that might be the solution. That might be a palette that can be applied to multiple levels at once. And then we have the loop. It's good. Oh, you know what else we need to color? We need to color the milk in the milk bowl. Milk, gonna be... Well, let's make it slightly gray. Here we go. Okay, I mean, at least we got the cat done. Let's see. Louis says, I probably should make more use of palettes so I don't have to color pick from a reference image every time. It's a bit inconvenient for smaller details. Yeah. Yeah, I love a good color palette system. Like on my real projects, like commercial projects, I would put a lot of effort into getting the palettes just right, because that really can save a lot of work. All right. Yeah, just to make sure that I have mentioned that at some point in the stream, you can, if you want, support me on Patreon. All you have to do for that is to go to patreon.com/animatorisland and you can sign up there. And yeah, every money that is donated there, I put right back into Animator Island to make more content, more live streams. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to the next year. I have some stuff planned already, and over the next couple months I will solidify these plans. And I'm excited for it. There's also on Patreon, if you join in the group mentoring tier, you can be there for an exclusive live stream that's only for group mentoring students, where you can bring whatever you're currently working on, your own animation, story idea, character design, and we can go over it. I'm going to annotate, draw over it, and help you to improve not only that particular project, but we can also talk about how to level up your skills, and what some good exercises would be to do. So that's the Animator Island group mentoring. If you like my way of giving critiques, you might want to check that out on animatorisland.com/group mentoring. So, we still need to do the eye color. Oh, there was a little bit of a... There. Didn't color that paw. How could we not? Paw, paw, paw. There we go. I love the tongue. That's just the perfect rhythm at the end of it. That's just, I really like that change of pace. That's so nice. Hi, Darren T. Nice to see you. Darren might know more about color palettes and how to make them truly global, because I've never figured that out. In Harmony, I always had like central color palettes that I would load into every layer, and they would stay linked. Like whenever you saved the color palette, every layer that is pointed to it would update, and I haven't quite figured out how to do that in OpenToonz yet. But I am convinced that there is a way. What eyes do we give him? Do we give him green eyes? My cat has green eyes. So I think Wizard Kitty is gonna have like a nice, maybe like an olive green? Maybe like that. Desaturated. I like the nose to be the one that the point that stands out the most for whatever reason. I can't quite explain it. I like that pink nose. Yeah. It's good to finally have the eye. We might want to consider also changing the line color. We can experiment with that later. What happened here? It jumped again. Why did it jump? Don't jump. Oh, it's jumping from key to key, okay. I mean, that makes sense. I want to jump from key to key. There we go. Yeah, why is the computer doing what I want it to do? What I'm telling it to do. Yeah, I agree, everyone. The green, the pink, and the gray. I think that does go together nicely. Tape tool. Tape. Ah, come on. Invisible tape. Ah, we have sufficiently magic music. I love this face. Hmm? Looks so focused. He looks so focused, the little guy. What's going on with the... Why are... No, you're not closed by a long shot. Okay. Oh. Oh, did we? We went to another layer. I see. Ah, now I remember. We did a little eye dart on another layer. Okay, so we need to do that palette game again. Studio palette. Project palettes. Okay, so we got this one up to date. Replace with current palette. Replace. Save. Overwrite. Going to that layer. Load into current palette. There must be another way. There must be a way to automate all of that. But for now, this is how I do it. Oh, this is not a nice eye shape. Let's make sure. Yeah, that's better. Okay, got that one done. Now we're almost there, almost having all of the wizard layers, of the wizard frames colored. And I think that's a good milestone for today. If anyone has any questions, I think it's approaching the last possible moment for today to ask me a question, because then I'm going to eat spaghetti with meatballs. And I'm very happy to do that because I'm getting quite hungry now. Oh yeah, we got it, backwards. Okay. Ah, it's so nice to see it colored. I love the ending. I love the ending of it. I wonder if my wife already wrote me like, "Hey, where are you? I'm waiting for you. It's half an hour or something like that." She never dares to. Ah, there. I was just wondering. Yeah. I know. I'm coming. Yeah, okay, food's ready. Then let's have a look at the animation one more time in full screen. And from the beginning, from the top. Open tunes. Why do you have to save now? I mean, I'm happy about your autosave tool feature thing, but come on. Okay, so let's watch it again. Yeah, the milk carton crushing. I I say all these details, it's really worth it. It's a really playful animation. I'm glad that it is as playful as it is. So I'm quite happy that it takes so many live streams to complete it. And we have so many little things in there. We need to do a sound design for it too. I think that can be quite nice. And I want the sound design, I want this to be like really like the lightning. Should be really like... And then for the tongue. Thank you. Thank you guys. All right. I gotta eat spaghetti with meatballs. And I hope all of you have a wonderful day. Thank you all so much for being here today, for being so active in the chat. It was a fun live stream. Thank you all so much, and I'm very much looking forward to the next one. Take care of yourself and keep on animating. Bye bye.